I want to present is called the Turkey Affair.
Sounds kinky.
In the small Arkansas town where I grew up, my brothers and I always looked forward with wild anticipation to the annual Washington County Fair. Aside from getting a school holiday, we got to enjoy the thrilling rides and the not-so-good-for-you foods. The excitement of soaring through the air on the Ferris wheel and watching from great heights.
Wait, hang on. You guys got out of school for the fair?
Yeah, we did. The people on the ground.
Fair Day.
The excitement of soaring through the air on the Ferris wheel and watching from great heights. The people on the ground milling around like ants amid a magical kaleidoscope, whatever, of brightly colored lights astonished the bravest of us all. Of course, there was always the high cost of admission to the fairgrounds, and our family funds were limited. We could only go once a year, which was a never-ending disappointment. My 17-year-old brother, Jerry, solved that problem for himself one year by entering an exhibit, and since exhibitors got in free any time, he could go whenever he wanted. I have an entry in the fair this year, Jerry announced while we were all sitting around the dining room table one evening, and I said, "Oh, you don't have anything to enter? What would you have to enter in the fair?" I laughed as I stuffed some of Mother's wonderful cornbread into my mouth. Jerry was always telling tall tales, and even though some of the tales turned out to be true, I knew that this one simply couldn't be. Kids that entered exhibits in the county fair worked hard all year getting their entries ready to show. "Go see for yourself," he said with a grin. "It's a turkey and I want a blue ribbon." Mother and I looked at each other in astonishment. As soon as Jerry left the table, we started making plans to go to the fair and see for ourselves. We arrived at the poultry barn, and each of us started searching separately through the rows of exhibits. My younger brother, Philip, called to us when he had found the cage holding the turkey. When we reached the back of the cage, Philip was in front pointing to the turkey and giggling. Mother and I crept around to the front and peered in. As soon as we got a good look, we joined Philip in laughter. It was, wait a minute.
The anticipation.
It was the ugliest turkey we'd ever seen. The breast was void of feathers. The wing feathers were splayed, and the poor thing had cuts and bruises on many of the bare spots of its body. A sign on the cage said "Grand Champion," and a blue ribbon was attached. When we got back home, Jerry was sitting on the front porch waiting for us with a satisfied expression plastered all over his face. "See, I told you," he gloated. He explained that he had found the turkey standing on the side of the road after he saw it fall from a truck. He caught it and put it in his car and took it straight to the fair that day. Nobody was more surprised than Jerry when the creature won. But this isn't the end of the story. He forgot to go back and get the turkey when the fair ended. The manager of the exhibits called to remind him that his bird was still in the cage at the fairgrounds. Jerry went and picked it up and brought it home. He released it on our little acreage, and it ran into the woods, never to be seen again. But this is still not the end of the story.
Never to be seen again.
The next spring, Mother was out walking in the woods behind our house and came across a pile of turkey bones laying across a nest. You guessed it. Just a minute. The turkey had made a nest and laid eggs. She had stayed there until she starved to death. Now that's the end of the story and the turkey.
All right, Uncle Bill, let's hear your version. You and Uncle Jerry.
Do you remember it?
That's your version.
Yeah, that one right.
Are we sure the turkey didn't get eaten? Like it was there and it got eaten. It was on its nest,
It
trying to
was-
be a good mom.
it
It
was
was
very
slaughtered
good.
by
Yeah, but Doug,
noon.
how long did you leave it? How
That's
long
what
did you leave it at the
At the
fair?
fair. He just left it and they called, "Come get your turkey."
The reason,
So,
the reason he won a blue ribbon was because it was the only turkey entered.
Oh, we've never heard that.
Dad was proud of his turkey.
Wait, Phil,
Before you
it
guys
was in the newspaper or what? It really
I was
was.
commenting about so much was like about the newspaper.
Y'all, we have newspapers.
We're trying to book, it's all gonna be supported by the newspaper.
No.